Nobody likes to be played, and I mean nobody. I don't care what your political affiliation, religion, or anything else is. Nobody likes to be played. Well, we have a free press in this country, and we should, but they surely are stepping on their reasons for being a free press. They're not to be stooges of any government, no matter whether it's the right or the left. They're supposed to be critical of everything that goes on and report honestly. They're not supposed to spin the news to favor anything. Now, I realize human nature might be an issue here, but back in days gone by, you could not easily tell someone's political affiliation by listening to the reporting or the spin. Well, they didn't spin. Let me put it that way. So, y'all remember that police officer that got killed at Capitol Hill? He got beat to death with a fire extinguisher. Well, it turns out that may not be true. This is what upsets me. Because I firmly believe that if he was, someone needs to be held accountable and on top of his sentence, taken out and horsewhipped. I'm definitely a law and order person. Whether there's a riot on the right or a riot on the left, I believe in law and order, regardless. So the story I'm catching now is that he possibly died of a stroke at the Capitol. Now, it might be because of the riot. I'm not taking that away. But the press said he was beat to death with a fire extinguisher. That's different than dying because of a riot for whatever other reason. I looked on YouTube looking for footage of this beating. You would think that Washington, D.C. and the Capitol would have cameras everywhere. And they do. I can only find one thing. And it shows someone tossing, not throwing at, a fire extinguisher at a line of police officers. It looks like, and it's hard to see, it looks like he hit the police officer. It looked like he was wearing a helmet. It looked like he went down and got back up. No foul, no nothing. Okay, looks like he was fine. So then let's skip to this part. His brother steps forward and says, well, we don't know what's going on. But after the riot, he called and he said that he was fine. That he got hit with pepper spray twice. But other than that, he was fine. That's supposed to be after the riot. So he couldn't have died in the riot, even though he may have died as a result of the riot. Again, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying the press spun this and said he got beat to death with a fire extinguisher, when it looks like that story is not at all true. This is how President Trump can yell about fake news and CNN that he does. And he can look at the people that follow him with a straight face and do this because the press does it to themselves, whatever the proper word is. He can accuse them of fake news because they produce fake news. They shoot themselves in the foot. They look at you with a straight face and they lie to you. Let me give you another example, something I just ran across. Apparently there's a spike in crimes against Asian Americans. The blame is being laid at the feet of President Trump for his anti-Chinese rhetoric. This could make sense if it were true, but apparently it's not. They're spinning it yet again. They showed a story of it was a black male that killed during a robbery, I think it was, an Asian American. I don't remember if it was New York City or Los Angeles, but it was one of the big rat hole cities. Anyway, it shows the picture of the guy that did the killing. He was a black male. Then in the story, it says that it's possible that President Trump's rhetoric is what's causing the spike in the crime against Asian Americans. I guarantee you that guy didn't vote for Trump. Black males, black females, whatever, they're not known to be big Trump supporters. So, and I hate to stereotype and all that, but it's a known fact between 80 and 85% of black people vote Democrat. It's just what they do, okay? So, I doubt that. Then it showed three other news news things about Asian Americans being targeted, yet all the perpetrators were black males. I read in the comments, I watch these YouTube videos, and I like to read the comments because I find them more educating than a lot of times video. And an Asian American got up there and said, I've never had any problem out anybody that I would perceive to be a Trump supporter. All of my problems have come from another race. So again, once the news is trying to spin something for something that it's not. And then, well, everybody knows Trump is a racist. I mean, of course he is. Listen to his rhetoric. You might not like his rhetoric, but it's not racist rhetoric, okay? Just because someone disagrees with you on racial matters and how things should be handled does not make them a racist. If I remember correctly, Trump's had a black girlfriend. He's done a lot for people in the black community on his own. When he opened up Mar-a-Lago golf tournament, he had to sue the city to get them to let black people play in his golf course. Blacks and Jews, actually. They were barred. He sued the city, okay, over that. If he's a racist, he's the best disguised racist I've ever seen. Watch what you watch on the news, okay? I don't trust CNN for nothing. Now, personally, preferably, I like to watch both newscasts, compare, contrast, and figure the stuff on my own. I shouldn't have to do that. When you got leftist news, and I admit there's right news too, but the spin's not, it's not the same. For instance, and I'm gonna end this with this. When Trump was trying to lay out the evidence that the election was stolen, or at least there's some bad irregularities, the news people are saying, Trump is saying without evidence. Well, he was showing evidence. The evidence is out there. They were ignoring it. Trump without evidence. They always added that. Instead of saying Trump asserts or this is what Trump says, they said Trump without evidence. This is why we don't trust the mainstream press. This is why we don't like CNN and others. This is why we're a little leery of Fox here lately. Anyway, y'all have a good day.